Hi, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Or if this is the first video that you've seen of me, Ross, Scottish safety guy, I'm still working in the name, then welcome. I don't normally have glasses on. I can't remember, I'll take them off. Take the glasses off. Hello. So, yeah, as you probably know, I am now officially a mature student. And I am officially underway in my master's programme with Strathclyde University. And this has been the first kind of proper week of work. One of the concerns that I had before starting was I'm going on holiday. So I've got a bag packed downstairs tomorrow morning off to Italy, and I have got an assignment to be in for the 2nd of October. Shock horror. So before I got into study proper, messaged the tutor to say, hello, I've got an assignment to be in for the 2nd. He said, that's fine, there's a late submissions process. If you tell us beforehand, you can tell us if the work's going to be late, and it should be okay, I presume, I don't know. That's not really what I'm about. I hopefully am a mature student. Being a mature student, I've been brought into academia on a professional background or on an understanding that I should take a bit of pride in what I do. Previously, when I was a student, you'd see deadlines approach and you think, I'll do it at the last minute. The last minute would arrive and you realise it was more difficult than you perhaps thought, and you'd miss it, and then you'd, oh, hello, tutor, yes, sorry, my dog ate my homework. Yeah. It's not what I'm about. So this week I got started, got right into it. Really interesting first module. So we start off looking at why health and safety, how it started in the United Kingdom. We look at things from the Industrial Revolution right through to just now, essentially, and how change in approach has determined how we think of safety. So I had a fair bit of reading. I have to say I was quite surprised. So didn't really know what to expect coming into the course. I thought there would be lectures recorded that I'd go online. Certainly not in week one, there's not. I've been provided with a lot of reading material, just as well. I don't mind reading on this type of topic. I don't read very much of your fiction type stories, but non-fiction, I'm perfectly happy to work my way through a workbook and take from it what I need to. I also enjoy referring back to things. What I wasn't ready for was this whole classification thing that you've got to do. Now, anyone that's written anything formally for a qualification will know it's heavy going. So I'll come back to that in a wee minute. The first part of the week, we get access to the course. Excellent. So went in, had a look at the course and had a look at the coursework and had a look at the references and the course materials. All very interesting. So yeah, I'm up for this. Worked through the first part and there was a test at the end. I thought, oh, don't really get tests, I didn't think. We do. The tests are encouragingly just there so that you can check your own knowledge, check your own understanding of the script of the text that you've just read. And I thought, actually, that's quite a nice way to go about it. So I read the text. I thought I'd brought the pertinent parts out of it. Looked at the test, and the test asked a couple of obscure questions, but that's okay. I see why they're asking that. You need to make sure that you've got an in-depth understanding of the text that you're just supposed to have gone through this. It should be fresh in your mind. So I answered the question, then you can check your answers. Question 1, correct. Excellent. Question 2, wrong. Question 3, wrong. Question 4, wrong. Question 5, wrong. Question 6, wrong. Question 7, right. Oh no. The problem is that I am a little bit pig-headed in my belief of my knowledge. That's why I'm doing this course, so that I can see if I'm actually as good as I think I am. Probably not. There's only one way to improve, and that's to keep giving it a go. So I'm back and I looked at the questions. I thought, no, that's right. I checked the answer. Let's say question 2, free text question. Explaining your own words, whatever the question was. So I explained in my own words. My own words happened to be almost exactly the same as was in the text, but just altered slightly so that it would answer the question. So how was that wrong? And I looked at the next one, and that was the same. I couldn't see how it was wrong. The one after that, I'd used the exact same words, the exact same language. So anyway, I don't know how much tutors and lecturers get paid, but my poor tutor does not get paid enough to deal with me. They got the most unnecessarily long email. I have paid for this course and I am appalled that I have come in, my first venture into academia, and you're telling me I'm wrong and I know that I'm right. How very dare you? This ought to be investigated as soon as possible. I probably said as soon as practicable, just to be a pain. Anyway, my tutor, to their absolute credit, they pinged it onto the right person within the faculty to say, this Ross guy. They probably said more than just this Ross guy. One of our students has highlighted that there may be an issue. Please investigate. And they investigated, and there had been just a tiny, tiny wee glitch on my profile. And it turned out that I got 99% in the test overall. So I was quite happy at that. Only because I thought I had. I thought that I'd done well. Therefore, I was disappointed to see why the system didn't also think so. I went on and did another one of these tests, and I got one question wrong in that, and that's okay. I get a question wrong. I looked at it. It could have been that. It could have been that. I firmly believe that I could answer. I could argue as to why my answer was correct, but the system says it wasn't. Fair enough. We then had a written piece. So the written piece was, well, just a short written piece. And these are all, it's not summative assessment. These are just pieces of work to guide me, the student, towards having sufficient knowledge to complete the assignment at the end of the module. But along the way, some of the smaller assignments get handed in. So the question of the assignment was, I'll not go into that just now because it's still live until the 2nd of October, and you never know, somebody else on the course might be watching here. I want to ensure that there is, of course, transparency in anything that we do. So I'm not going to be seeking answers from anyone else. I'm not going to be sharing answers with anyone else. But to the topic of the assignment, it was quite a nice topic. The topic was essentially how have I just said I wasn't going to go into it, and now I'm giving just a little intro. The topic was essentially health and safety has changed over the years. Give us some examples of where you reckon health and safety has grown naturally with society, or words to that effect. It was worded far better than that. So I gave an explanation as to why things change. We looked at pestle analysis. We looked at what was interesting for me. So as I mentioned in my first video, I'm a civil servant. And I work in Westminster, and from a central government perspective, I see legislation coming in on a daily basis. I see changes being made in central government on a daily basis for the good of the nation, for the good of the UK citizens and citizens who enter or exit the UK, for the good of anyone affected by our acts or omissions, essentially. And it was only in reflection once I had written the assignment that I realised just how strongly influenced by my work my writing on that assignment has been. Because I spoke about UK citizens requiring change, necessary change from their government, from their politicians. I spoke about do politicians try to win points over other people and be the first to. We saw in the news this week Rishi Sunak talking about not reversing but waiting a wee while and adding an extra 5 years onto the decision to go all electric in the motor industry. And of course, political opponents have come out to say, oh, this is dreadful for the environment. And Rishi Sunak stating that we want to benefit not only the environment, but also we want to carry people along with us. So it's interesting that my writing was very heavily influenced by being in Westminster and working in a central government function. What working in a central government function doesn't do, as I said earlier on, it doesn't prepare you for the Harvard classification system, or, as I've been advised, the Strathclyde Harvard or Harvard Strathclyde classification system of quoting or citing your references. So I wrote my 500 to 750 words on the topic. It was exactly 750 words. And then referenced just a couple of books. I've got a safety book over here, one that I used in my NEBOSH certificate. And I referenced the Health and Safety Executive, their website, and legislation.gov.uk. And previously, in work, I've just put in a wee note to say, yeah, check there, you'll find it. But I found out that in academia, that is just not sufficient. Even if you proffer an opinion, you have to give detail on why you hold that opinion, where did it come from. So it's interesting. Long and short of it, I've done my first few weeks of work. I've done my first few weeks of assignments, and I'll be interested to see what comes back. My assignment might be okay. I think I've answered the question. The background that they gave us was on changes that happened hundreds of years ago, and I have spoken about changes that have happened almost since the pandemic. So I'll see if that's the type of thing that we're after. And if it is, fantastic. And if it's not, then I'll learn. What I'll do is I will share how I'm getting on with the vlog, and I'm intending on keeping them all less than 15 minutes because I listened back to one and oh my goodness. So this is probably about 15 minutes long, so I'm going to stop now, and I'll probably do a little live reel or short or whatever it's called from my travels in Italy next week. But until then, be safe, be kind, be you. Take care. Bye bye.